Hey everyone, this is 100 Days of Purpose, and I know we've missed a few days, so we're going to pick up right where we left off. So the last day was day 75, so today is day 76. We're going to talk about the beginning of the end. And what I mean by that is whenever you are starting a new project, whenever you are going into something new, you have to visualize from start to finish. You have to see as much as possible the information that you the with the information that you have to see the end of the thing. You have to see the completion. You got to understand what success is going to look like. Many times we get involved in something, and I'm guilty of it too. We get involved in something, but we have not really counted the cost. We have not really understood the path that needs to go. And we are not flexible. We're trying to find our footing, we're trying to find our way, and we're not flexible. And so when things come that we didn't anticipate or wasn't expecting, we then are thrown off. And so what we need to understand is that when you begin this life of purpose, when you start to say, okay, this is the reason why I exist. This is why I was put on the earth. This is what I'm supposed to be doing with the gifts and the talents that I have been given, the education that I have received, the skill sets that I've learned, all of those things that, you don't think they connect, but they connect to who you truly are. They connect to all of that. And so you want to connect those dots, and you want to have a game plan and a strategy. That's why I say take a sip of life, because you want to be strategic, you want to be intentional and on purpose with everything that you do. But before you start something, before you take that first step, you got to know what your transition looks like. You got to know what that first step is. You got to know what okay, this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3, and have some contingency plans that if step 1 doesn't go exactly how you think it should be, there needs to be some contingency plans that will keep you going forward, and it will not stop you or block you. And so when I'm talking about the beginning of the end, you got to see it from the beginning. You got to look down the road and see the end and know exactly where you're going, and have some idea of where you're going. And the how and the when is going to change. However, if you know that you're trying, let me put it this way. If you know that you're trying to get to 123 Main Street, right, and you're at 457 11th Street, then you have the destination. And if you take a GPS and you type that in, the GPS is going to give you several routes to take, right? And sometimes you want the route that's the fastest. Sometimes you want the route that you don't have to pay much toll, or you want maybe it's something you really don't want to do. So you want to know what's the slowest route. So the GPS tells you that. And that way, you know how to plan. That way, you know how to strategize. You know how to be effective and efficient with your time. And so, as a person of purpose, that is what comes with the responsibility of giving your message or giving your talents and your energy to those that you are assigned to. You must know the path. You've got to understand. And I always say this, I don't know where I picked it up from. I can't remember who said it first to me. But what I do remember is what was said. I'm sorry about that. I remember what was said. And what was said to me was, you cannot lead someone where you have not gone. And so I keep that in mind, and that's where I get this the beginning of the end, because you've got to understand where it is that you're going, and you got to know the pitfalls. You got to know the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs. You have to be anticipating all of these things, because nothing is ever going to run smooth. There's going to be some hiccups, there's going to be some hangups, there's going to be some obstacles and some distractions and some where did this come from, right? Unexpected things that just pop up, because that's life. Life is ever changing, life is ever evolving. And so we have to be ever changing and ever evolving. We've got to understand that even though my purpose is set, the way to get my purpose done may fluctuate. And so when I'm at the beginning of a thing, when I'm at the beginning of a project, when I'm at the beginning of doing something new, I've got to allow the process. I've got to allow the process of transformation. I've got to see that thing before I can see it, right? I've got to take a look at it. I got to understand what is required of me. And if I don't understand all that's required of me, then I need to do my research. I need to get in with some people that can help me, talk with some mentors, talk with some people that may be doing something similar to what it is that I'm trying to do. But I've got to make the plan. I got to have a plan. So this is the beginning of the end. This is the beginning. This is how you started. This is how you started to be successful. This is how you started to be efficient and to be effective. Because who wants to do something if you're not going to be efficient? Who wants to do something if you are not going to be efficient and effective? Nobody. I don't want to waste my time, right? You don't want to waste your time. We got very little time. We don't have any time to waste. We don't have any time to frivolously throw it around and hope we get it one day. No, we got to get it today. Okay. So when you are starting something new, when you're taking on a new beginning, the first thing you must do is stop making excuses on what it is, why you have to do this thing. And then you have to see the end. Know exactly. I was doing fine until I come live. I don't know what it is. There's just some days my oxygen level be like, yeah, we gonna yawn throughout this whole thing. And we not gonna yawn when you get off, and we not gonna yawn before you get on. But while you're on, we're gonna yawn. So you want to be efficient and effective, and you don't want to be frivolous with your time, with your effort, and with your money, right? Because most things physically cost us money to get things done and to do things right. And so how does the saying go? If it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. If it's worth doing it, then you got to do it right. And the only right way to do it is to see the end from the beginning. Have some idea of what success is going to look like. Have some idea of what the finished product is going to look like. And then start to pave the way to that and work towards it. But you can't do that if you can't see it. And many times we're frustrated because we want to get started with something, but we don't know how, we don't know why, we don't know if it's even going to work because we haven't done our research. We haven't really sat down and did the due diligence that is necessary. And so do your due diligence. Do your planning. Be strategic, be intentional, be on purpose. I am Coach Linda. This is 100 Days of Purpose. This is day 76. We are rounding the bend. We're almost done. Like I said, we've had a few hiccups and hangups where we had to, skip a few days, but is at the end of it all, it will be 100 days of purpose. And so hopefully moving forward, we'll slide right on into home and there won't be any more missed days. And I want you to know that I'm rooting for you. Only those that can see the invisible can achieve the impossible. So dare to be you, because when you dare to be you, the world must adjust.